Welcome to the training site for DERA's Environmental Farming Scheme. This is a training module for the record-keeping requirements of the Environmental Farming Scheme. You'll need to watch this video, and this is followed by a number of questions which you must answer. There are further details about record keeping in the EFS section of the DERA website. This module will cover a number of aspects of record keeping. It'll indicate that you must keep records as part of the scheme. It outlines the records that you need to keep and then gives some guidance on how to keep these records. For the Environmental Farming Scheme, you must complete and retain records for each option and each capital item. You must complete one record sheet for each field where an EFS option or capital item has been completed, and you must show in your EFS records that the correct management has been undertaken. Also, you must keep your EFS records up to date for the duration of the agreement, and you must have your EFS records available for inspection at any time of year. What records must you keep? Well, you can find the answer to that in the Requirements and Controls section of the information sheet for each individual option or each capital item. How do you keep the records? You can use the EFS Wider Example Records template from the DERA website, or if you prefer, you can use your own format to keep the necessary information. Following this, there are 3 examples given which show the record keeping required for a range of situations. Here are some worked examples of what DERA will expect in terms of record keeping. Templates and completed examples are available on the DERA website for future reference. The first example concerns the establishment of native woodland on less than 5 hectares. The information sheet for the establishment of native woodland less than 5 hectares details, for example, that the following records must be kept. First, the field records required for the option will be covered. The issue of integrated pest management will be covered later in this presentation. As indicated on the slide, there's detail given about the type of field records that are needed for the correct operation of the scheme. Records of the option and capital items undertaken in your EFS agreement must be kept, first of all, at field level, and secondly, they must be kept for each year of your agreement. Therefore, the first section of the records example template gives the business ID, the agreement start date, the claim period or year, the farm survey number, and the field number. In this example, the EFS participant will establish the option establishment of native woodland less than 5 hectares in field 4 in the first year of the scheme. And in the next few slides, it shows the work that needs to be undertaken for the further record keeping. The next section of the field record template provided on the DERA website is a table with separate sections for you to complete. The sections resemble the option information sheets for the option and capital items and include the date the activity took place, which option or capital item is concerned and its EFS code, the location within the field where the activity was completed, what the activity was, and the amount of it that was done. There is also on the right hand side of the table another section for any other relevant information. This might be used to list seed mixes or the species planted, for example. In this example shown, the participant is recording the establishment of native woodland less than 5 hectare option by planting trees and erecting tree guards and canes in a 0.2 hectare field area, in field 4 on the 5th of February 2018. For this option, the species composition, the type of woodland established, and the number of trees or shrubs planted must be recorded. This is as detailed in the information sheet. The species composition should reflect the information provided in the woodland creation plan provided by DERA for that particular site. Maintenance will include removal and replacement of dead plants, replacement of guards or canes, and weed control, among others. This activity must also be recorded in due course and to the details specified in the option information sheet. The second example concerns stock-proof fencing and a gate and 2 gate posts. And this example outlines the records that must be kept for the completion of additional capital items. It's important to note that these records must also be kept for the completion of essential capital items that are an integral part of some options. For example, the erection of stock-proof fencing as part of the planting new hedgerows, including 2 protective fences option. In this example, the agreement includes an additional capital item associated with the establishment of native woodland less than 5 hectares option. That is, 155 metres of stock-proof fencing is erected to protect the newly planted option. The details of this capital item must be recorded as shown above. Also in this example, the agreement has a second additional capital item associated with the option. That is, a gate and 2 gate posts, stock-proof fence, and this is erected in the stock-proof fence to allow access to maintain the option. The third example concerns integrated pest management. Integrated pest management is just a new terminology for the consideration farmers automatically give to the protection of their crop yield from pests. For example, potato growers consider the blight forecast in planning the management of their crop. For integrated pest management, the agreement holder needs to keep agreement level records each year for the 2 parts of integrated pest management highlighted here. This means indicating, as shown here by ticking a box, that you've assessed, firstly, whether there are any issues with harmful organisms or pests in the establishment or maintenance of the options in your agreement, and secondly, that you have checked and recorded what measures you have taken to protect the option from such pests. Templates and completed examples are available on the DERA website for future reference. Finally, this is the last slide of this training on record keeping, and there are a few things that you need to do next. You must now complete the questions for the EFS wider record keeping, and these are found on the site below the video. It is essential that you do this so as to register that your training on EFS record keeping is complete. Secondly, you should also read the individual information sheets for each EFS option and/or capital item with a record keeping requirement. These are found on the individual lesson sites or on the Environmental Farming Scheme section of the DERA website. And finally, if you have further options or capital items in your agreement, you can take the training for them after you complete the questions for this training module.